everyone, this is Garrett, and this is Serious Sam HD, the second encounter. And more specifically, it's going to be the DLC that came out for Serious Sam HD, the second encounter, called Legend of the Beast. And it's kind of an addendum to my second encounter playthrough of the classic version of the game. I am, however, going to play on serious difficulty instead of mental. And just to briefly go over it, on serious, you get twice as much ammo compared to pretty much every other difficulty except for tourist, and you get the harder enemy spawns, and I think it's just a little bit more interesting to watch, and I also think it's a little bit more fun to play than mental. I enjoyed my mental playthroughs, but honestly, I'm a little bit done with it now. And before I actually continue, I'm going over something which was not in the classic version of the game, which is custom difficulty right here. And what you can do in custom difficulty is that you can sort of make the game more like you could change it in multiplayer, because in multiplayer you always had some of these options available, like allowing health items and armor items and stuff. And the main reason why you'd want to do this is for leaderboard reasons, because right now it's on normal and it says my score will be multiplied by 31, and on mental you get 61, which is the highest until you start messing with this stuff. So penalized saving, you'll get less points if you save a lot. So if you want to go for a really high score, you'd have something like this. This is the highest multiplier you can get in single player, for as far as I know. The thing is, though, this option in particular makes the game awful. This is something for people who really want to get that high score leaderboard score, but all it does is it makes the enemies have that much more health. They don't actually deal more damage, but the thing is, you'll have to shoot even the most basic enemies like 14 times before they actually die, and it's incredibly boring to do. And there are people that do it, and I'm sure they enjoy it as well, but I can't stand it, honestly. And these do make it a little bit more interesting, like not allowing health and armor items. It's a bit weird in the main game, because sometimes health and armor items are still just lying around, but in this DLC they seem to all be gone. And power-up items, I'm not even sure if there are any in the DLC, honestly, I don't even remember. But yeah, I'm just gonna play on serious, like normal serious difficulty. Now, this takes place in the first encounter, even though it's DLC for the second encounter. It takes place after the Metropolis level. And originally, the levels that we play were actually in a beta for the first encounter, which, let me just hear the one-liner. Deja vu. Also, the voice acting sounds a bit weird, but I'll go over that in a second. But yeah, these were originally levels from the beta, which was from like 1998 or something, or 1999, or 2000, or 2001. Somewhere along those lines. And that might be why, well, the level design is pretty basic compared to the stages that were eventually available in the final version of the game. But also why the pacing is a little bit awkward. And I think this first stage in particular has really awkward enemy locations and like weapon placements, really, because we're not really gonna get many weapons in the first stage. It's also not a very long stage, and also I'm gonna get all secrets. So here's some secret health and armor, which is good because for some reason we start off with 30 health, and I'm honestly not really super sure why. And you don't really need to go here because right now we can't actually do anything here, but I'd rather have a more reasonable amount of health and armor than the 30 we start off with. So I'm actually going to go here first, just because it makes everything a little bit safer. I'm going to kill all these guys so I don't have to do that later. But yeah, right now we're still on our single pistol. Pretty much every Serious Sam game will give you a second pistol just immediately, pretty much before fighting anything else. And in this DLC, it's a little bit different. What the idea behind this stage is that you press two buttons. One is in that courtyard and the other is in that courtyard, and then you open the door to the exit, and that's the entire stage. And both of those statues that have the buttons on it have a pistol lying next to it, but I'm actually going to go up here because there's also a pistol just sitting around in the middle over here. And that pistol is actually really useful, which is why I'm getting it immediately. It is guarded by two guys, but they're not too scary, so I'm not going to worry about them too much. And we're first going to go into this courtyard over here. I think personally that this is probably the easier courtyard. The thing is, there's those enemies, and yeah, they have chain guns, and those are hit scan weapons, and hit scan weapons are weapons that they shoot and then immediately hit you. They don't have to fly like the projectiles that the purple guys shoot. And more importantly, they don't die in 2 shots either. They actually have a fairly considerable amount of health. And they're actually really, really scary right now because we honestly don't have very good weapons to take care of them. You can just shoot them with the pistols for a while and just hide behind the wall every time they start shooting at you, but it's not very fun. It's just not a very fun thing to do, and honestly, if I can get close to them, I'm pretty happy because they're actually quite weak to the knife, as I'll hopefully be able to demonstrate soon enough. But until then, we're just slowly going to nudge our way into this general direction. Because there's a bunch of dudes coming towards us, and they're all not friends at all. They're all big jerks, especially the headless kamikazes, which are running ever so slightly faster than we can run. And there's quite a large amount of them too, but fortunately they do die pretty quickly as well. So even though we don't really have that many weapons, they're not too big of a problem. Also, when the arachnoids, as they're called, if they're standing over there, I don't think they can actually really hit us until they move into the right position, which is one way you could do it. Like, that guy over there is pretty much our main concern right now. But I'm gonna take care of all the little guys which are walking around here. Unfortunately, there's 2 of them. There's 2 arachnoids hanging out here, and they're both jerks. And I could just do this, as I said. I'm actually gonna shoot him a while until he gets stunned, and then I'm just gonna run past. And then I'm a bit worried because that guy made sounds. The headless kamikaze, I'm glad they make so much noise because at least you'll know that they're around, but geez, I don't want them nearby at any possible point in time, really. It is nice that the arachnoids actually get stunned if you shoot them just with any gun for a while, because it allows you to take care of them ever so slightly easier with the weapons we have at our disposal now, and you can actually run past buildings and stuff to make life a little bit easier. I can't really get close to that guy, which is a bit of a problem, but fortunately I can go over here to this oddly colored wall, and there's a secret weapon and a really, really weird looking logo. Like, it just doesn't quite look like the Serious Sam logo. It sort of looks like it, but not entirely. And the shotgun is actually a really big help to us right now because it's just pretty strong, like, compared to the weapons we have right now. And I kind of want to have this wall in between me and that arachnoid for a while because it makes life a little bit less scary. Now, I'd rather not just run straight towards it, but I might not have a choice. The shotgun actually stuns it pretty much immediately, and you can just keep it stunned like this as well and then kill it. Which is another reason why the shotgun is ever so great.
Give a man a bullet, and he'll want a gun. Give him a gun, he'll be giving away the bullets.
Also, the voice acting sounds a bit strange, but first I'm going to pull this lever, and it says 1 more to go, which is correct because there's another lever on the other courtyard, which is where we're going now. And I'm actually just going to run straight towards that. There's actually some clear skeletons coming our way as well, which are going to try to hit us with those balls and chains they're throwing at us. They're kind of annoying, but we can take care of them pretty easily with the pistols we have, just because they spawn on the other side of the courtyard. But yeah, the voice acting. This DLC came out after Serious Sam 3. And in Serious Sam 3, I think the voice acting sounds a little bit different as well compared to the earlier games. It seems that maybe his voice just changed or something. It is the same guy, but the way he just does the Serious Sam voice sounds a lot more shouty than it does in the older games. I'm not really sure why, but that's just what they're going with now, so that's the story behind it, really. It just sounds a little bit different nowadays. It has been like 10 years since the original Serious Sam came out compared to like Serious Sam 3, so it's not a really big surprise that it all sounds a bit different. Also, there's a secret health. If you walk close to it, it jumps away. Fortunately, that's not too much of a problem. I'm actually going to shoot that arachnoid, which doesn't really seem to do much. It might be because it's just so far away that it's just having trouble hitting us right now, because it is really far away. And I'm just going to kill it just so I can pick up this health. And there's probably just a whole bunch of kamikazes and other enemies just happily running around in this area. No, there's another one that spawned. But it just takes forever for all of them to spawn, so I'm just going to leave. Like, they're not going to hurt me anymore. They're not going to follow me up here. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he just gave up immediately. And I'm going to use this upper pathway to get to the next courtyard. And this next courtyard has 2 more secret areas, which are going to be pretty beneficial to us. But it also has an arachnoid as well. And this is also one of the reasons why I'm actually going to the other courtyard first. Because that courtyard has a shotgun, and this one doesn't. And the shotgun is so good against those guys if you can get close to them. The knife is also pretty good, because you can, if you haven't hit them yet, and you hit them with a knife, they get stunned. And then you can just keep swiping, and they'll just be stunned the entire time. And then they just die. The problem is, if you shoot them a couple times with the pistol, and then run towards them, there's a very good chance that they're going to stab you with their melee attack. And their melee attack is really strong. And you don't want to get hit by that. So this area is kind of scary because there are just a lot of different headless kamikaze spawns in this area. And I'm actually going to hang out over here for a while because I'm pretty sure this is a safe area, sort of safe-ish comparatively. And it spawns a lot of stuff over here. And there's an arachnoid in several places right now, which is a little bit bothersome. There's like one right over there. And I don't really like having them that close. I should reload any time now. The thing about the HD remake as well is that normally these 2 pistols, they're supposed to shoot 6 times each, but sometimes you shoot more. And I'm not really sure why. It just sort of does. And it seems to happen completely at random. I genuinely have no idea why it happens, but sometimes it just shoots an extra bullet. And I don't know why. It just sort of happens. I'm actually going to grab my shotgun here because it's getting a little bit too dicey. And this right here is kind of the reason why people felt a little bit about the DLC. It just starts off a little bit odd. Like, you get not especially strong weapons, especially if you don't know about the secret shotgun. You get kind of weak weapons to fight against pretty strong enemies, which in the main game you're fighting for just pretty much after you get a rocket launcher and stuff like that, and they're just really easy to take care of. Now you have to shoot them with pistols and a shotgun, and sometimes without a shotgun if you, like I said, don't know about that secret area, which is very likely the first time you're playing it. So it's a very odd design, but it is also a design that was cut from the beta and not put in the original release of the main game, so that might also be one of the reasons why it's just a little bit strange. I don't really like my armor situation right now, but I also don't really like my situation with that guy, but he's edging closer. He's taking a very specific route. I don't think he's actually coming straight towards us, but he's just patrolling the general patrol route that they take. I don't really like that second one over there, though. I'm just going to do this so I don't get shot too much by that other one. That's just all the way on the other side right now. And I'm not actually quite sure what I'm going to do about that. He's just in a really bad location right now, but I might just shoot him with this for a while. The good thing about these trees is that they have silly hitboxes and that you can actually just hide behind them and you'll pretty much never get hit at all. As long as you're just pretty close to the tree. Just pretty much whenever you can't see the entire enemy, you're kind of safe from the enemy as well. So that's kind of nice in a way. And it makes it a lot easier to get close to him because I'm pretty sure he's behind. He's over there, yeah. Well, she, I suppose, but who cares? I'm just gonna shoot it to death. And now we don't have to worry about that anymore. And before we pull the lever and continue with this level, there is a couple things here. One of which is a teleporter. And this is under the bridge. And this is a secret teleport. I'm going to save the game because I'm scared. But yeah, the secret teleport is a bit weird because it counts for 2 secrets. And I'm not really sure why. But that's going to be the reason why it says that we found 5 secrets in this level. I'm guessing the armor is supposed to be like a secret as well. Or maybe just being in this area. But for some reason, it just counts as 2. And I'm honestly not sure why. Never actually died there, but you never know. When you're recording things have a tendency of going wrong in ways that they've never gone wrong before, which is why I just made a little safety quick save there. And we pull the lever, and we get a little cutscene that shows the shotgun getting lowered, and a clear skeleton spawning right in front of it. Which is not going to be a problem, because we have plenty of guns to take care of that. Also, if we had gotten shot by that guy during the cutscene, it would have just skipped the cutscene entirely, which is great. Also, arachnoid, but we've got trees. But yeah, just because we don't really have extraordinarily strong weapons right now to take care of these guys, I'm just gonna run. Because I'm not really much of a point hog. If you really want to get the points, you're pretty much best off to just shoot them safely with the pistols, to be honest. Because it's not like you're gonna get a time bonus. Like, you get a time bonus if you beat the level under, like, the estimate time. And the estimate time for this level is 10 minutes. And I've never beaten this level in 10 minutes, even if I tried. So, like, I guess you have to just run to the levers as quickly as possible. And then you'll probably get it. But the time bonus does not outweigh the amount of points that you get for just beating the level by killing everyone. So, you're probably going to want to do that. I'm just going to leave because it's getting way too scary over there. Too much stuff. And right now, like, I could just go through that door and then walk all the way around and just get on top of that and just walk all the way around that and just kill them from upstairs, but it would just not be interesting to watch, so I'm just going to continue with the level. A clear skeleton did spawn, as we saw in the cutscene, and I'm just going to take care of it with the pistols, because they take slightly more than one clip. I would have liked if it randomly did that extra shot, but it didn't that time. And I left a healing item over here just for this occasion.
It's just what I've always wanted.
And we got the shotgun, and now I'm going to run back again because it's going to spawn a whole bunch of clear skeletons. And that's what I meant with that sometimes just shoot an extra bullet, because that time it did kill the enemy. And it makes the reload animation a bit odd as well, but oh well. Nothing we can do about that. Boom. 2 shotgun shots are always enough to kill a clear skeleton in, for as far as I know, every Serious Sam game, so that's also something that's worth noting. And slowly but surely the clear skeletons are going to run out. It actually spawns another enemy, which is one of those rocket dudes. Not the strong, scary red rocket dudes, but more of a tiny pig-like rocket dudes who uses rockets which are not overly impressive and actually move so far out of the way that they probably won't hurt you. And then he says, "Are you okay?" which always seemed a bit out of place. Another odd thing about the voice acting is that sometimes he'll say things and then it just sort of trails off as he's saying it. So the last words are sometimes just, you can't hear them at all. And it's very strange. I'm not actually sure if that was intentional or not, but it's just one of those things that'll happen every now and then. I was hoping for another armor power up, but I'm afraid we're not getting one of those. But yeah, that was actually the entire first level. It's not very big, it's pretty basic, and it mostly just has really annoying enemy spawns. And it took us exactly 15 minutes apparently, and we missed like 80 enemies. And the weird thing about this level is that even the people who are at the top of the leaderboard missed like 30 enemies or something in this level. So I'm not sure if everything actually spawns here. But oh well, that's not our concern. We are in the next level called the Holy Spirits, and I'm going to leave that for next time. So I hope you enjoyed it so far, and next time we play, we're going to play this level, and I'm just going to get rid of these guys so I can continue calmly next time.
There's a new sheriff in town.
Bye-bye.